Honestly, my best impression of someone who isn't extremely warm and uncomfortable. How'd I do? Hello! Today, we are going to do something a little bit different. Sort of. It's like half different, half the same shit you've seen from me since the beginning of my channel. Are you not enticed? This is definitely gonna be a mishmash, and I'm not sure completely that it's gonna work, but we're gonna give it a shot. This is the dawn of doing things that make me happy on this channel, so we're gonna give it a go. One part of this video is going to be a thrift haul. Because this video is sponsored by Thredup, I'll talk a little bit more about that very shortly. I just enjoy show and tell, like a good first grader. Second part of this video is going to be more of a vlog kind of situation. Vlogs aren't everybody's cup of tea or coffee. Honestly, I miss making them. On occasion, I'll go back and watch my old vacation vlogs just to feel the feels all over again. Thrift haul, vlog, vlog, thrift haul. We're gonna give it a try. I don't know. I am going to be going camping for a few days. Nick and I are venturing off in our camper. Specifically wanted this thrift haul to be camping clothes, adventuring clothes, hiking clothes. You get the idea. That was a long spiel. Let's get started. First and foremost, this video is sponsored by Thredup. If you have not heard of Thredup, it is a massive online thrift store. I've worked with them many times before. I recommend it to people even when I'm not being sponsored. Basically what you do is you go online, you go on their website or on their app. Everything on their website is secondhand. You can find your favorite brands for up to 90% off of estimated retail. For instance, a lot of brands I search for are Target, H&M, Ralph Lauren, stuff that I don't really want to buy new because I'm trying not to buy any newly produced clothing or fast fashion. So it's also a good way to leisurely search for things you want without feeling stressed at the thrift store. You know, it's just always crowded and hectic there, and I got used to not being around people, so I go and use all of the drop-down menus to narrow down what I want. My size, the color that I'm looking for, probably earth tones or beige. What kind of clothing I want, the style, the cut. You can get really, really specific on here. If you want to check out Thredup, make sure you head to the link in my description and you can use my code for 30% off of your first order. Without further ado, I got 6 items for this thrift haul. The first item that I got, these shorts. They are the cutest things I've ever seen. I've already worn these in 1, if not 2 videos. They are so stinking cute. I wanted to make sure I got shorts that were really comfy. These are by Elizabeth and James. Very lightweight, and they make me feel like a camp counselor or Milo Thatch on vacation. Okay. Apparently these were originally super expensive, and the estimated retail price of this was $195. What? But Thredup had them for $48.99. I think these were the most expensive things that I got, but honestly, the amount that I've worn them already makes it well worth it. Day 1, we made our way to our first little campsite, and although it was a little questionable, we had our own personal little grotto cove area, which was totally worth it, and we spent the majority of our time here. After lounging around and trying to get our power supply to work, we decided to check out the cove a little bit. Some of us a little bit more brave than others. And then he fell in.
Now fall in like I did.
After Frodo reinforced his title of Noodle King of the river.
Look at those legs! Oh my goodness.
And perfectly reenacting Lion King.
Help me!
We made some dinner and tucked in for the night. The next item that I got, forgive me, it is very wrinkly because I may or may not have already shoved this into a bag. But it is this really, really cute camisole type thing. I got it because I liked the lace details and it kind of reminded me of an Edwardian corset cover. This is by the brand Eyeshadow, and the estimated retail price of this was $36, but Thredup had it for $15. Airy summer top because I tend to sweat quite profusely, so anything to relieve me of that. Day 2 was our only full day at this campsite, and it was a busy one. So here's some sensual shots of coffee. We made some breakfast, spied on some ducks. Then I set off to do a little painting in the river. I thought it might be kind of cool to fill up my portable watercolor brush with water from the actual river, and then I got to work. I always try to carve out a little bit of time anywhere we travel to do one of these. I just feel like it captures the moment really well, and I can remember what was going on around me much more than just with a photograph. So after that was done, it was time to go swimming. Featuring my super fashionable water shoes.
Okay, now you gotta act relaxed.
After that, I donned some plastic armor, as you do, and took some photos with a very special camera that you will see in a future video. And then it rained for a hot minute. Once that cleared up, we whipped out our metal detector, like a couple of old folk. After finding some lovely old junk, it was time for dinner. These kind of pudgy pie things are a staple when we go camping. Basically what we did for this one, you put pizza dough on both sides, and then we made mac and cheese and hot dogs with some cheese and barbecue, threw it in the fire. And then you have this scrumptious little pocket, and it was frickin' delicious. Frickin' delicious. Dink.
Isn't that Miley Cyrus?
So after getting my nightly death scare in, we turned in and watched a movie. Next up is another item that I've already worn a bunch of times. This Brooks Brothers sweatshirt. I don't know. I just thought that something about this looked really vintagey. Perhaps the actual date on it, but also it reminded me of old Letterman sweater or an old rugby sweater. This also was originally very expensive. The estimated retail price of this was $98, but Thredup had it for $36.99. You know, it's not a lot of numbers to memorize, but just enough for me to peek. This is super, super comfy and cozy. I figured this would be good for lounging around the camper or even maybe hiking if it's kind of colder out. Just super comfy. I'm really good at describing things. Day 3 was the day that we headed from our own personal campsite to meet up with my family at their cottage. So we didn't do too much today. We had some breakfast, said goodbye to our favorite cove and the duckies, and then we were on the road again. It was super misty and rainy that day, so we pulled over in a few different spots just to take in the splendor. In all honesty, this might be the prettiest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And we headed to my parents' cottage and watched a movie and went to bed. Day 4 started off with some mini golf with my nephew and my mom. Also, I wore the same shirt because I felt like the prior day didn't count. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie to you, I might be the worst mini golf player on this entire planet. After that, we decided to go for a hike.
He showed him the parlor and he whispered, I love you.
Come on, Ambrosius.
We decided to venture a little further up onto the mountain, and after being really brave,
Nope.
we made our way back down the mountain and left, and I did my best, Owen Wilson.
Wow.
That night, we decided to have some fine cuisine, and I heated mine up because, of course, I'm a connoisseur. We also paired it with the peak cinematic experience, and we had a cozy night. Next up, Talbot's linen shirt. For this, I specifically went to the drop-down menus and chose linen just because I feel like it's a good camping material. Fun fact, it absorbs moisture very well. And I am moisture embodied in human form. The estimated retail price of this was $90, but Thredup had it for $17.99. To go with that top, I got these trousers, which are Ralph Lauren, and they are 100% wool. Very warm. Normally I wouldn't wear this in summer, but I'm gonna pack them just in case. So these babies, the estimated retail price of this was $129, but Thredup had it for $29.99. These are super flattering. The waist really tucks in. The rest of it is kind of baggier than a lot of my trousers. I feel like that works really well, especially if you throw some boots on because they kind of overflow over the boot a little. You know what I'm saying? We've always wanted to do one of those mountain coasters, so I mustered up my courage.
Make sure you show off that wristband. Nice.
Despite what every single one of my instincts was telling me, we hopped on the metal death trap.
I hope we don't die. No. Here we go. Oh my god!
So after feeling like I was gonna die, we hopped on the chairlift, which also made me feel like I was gonna die.
Big heat.
I'm gonna puke. Let's go down. After many more noises of nervous uncomfort, we headed down the mountain and back to our campsite. Since we were meeting up with my parents, I knew one of our traditions is to go to flatbread pizza place. And so I wanted to pack something that would be good for going out to dinner as well. So I got Chelsea and Theodore dress. It is really long. Really interesting pleats that I don't usually see. It's got some like triangle insert pleats here, which makes it really good for swooshing. Elastic waist, which is good for eating lots of food. I don't know, it just seemed really summery and I thought it was really cute. You would think after how many years of doing thrift hauls that I would have some more robust vocabulary to describe dresses, but alas. Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same, totally unique. Oh, I've never read this full quote. It is a little violent. Put it in a blender, on it, vomit on it, eat it, give birth to it. Thank you, Lady Gaga. Like one of those carnival tunnels. Nick, pretend you're off balance. Whoa, whoa.
That was nice.
What do you mean?
It's hard. We're walking really fast. Slow down. It's better. But you gotta actually eat it though.
Okay, I lied. I got 7 things. This Abercrombie. That's a hard word to say. Abercrombie. Oh, I hate that word. Abercrombie and Fitch, Henley. Sometimes I'll go in and just do the drop-down menu. Specify that I'm looking for Henleys just because I think they're so cute. I don't know. Very whiskey grandpa. Long johns. Bathing in a tub on your porch. Need some more casual tops to wear when I'm working on projects, and this seemed really comfy and cozy. So the estimated retail price of this was $28.99 and Thredup had it for $13.99. So it was just kind of like a cute, cheap shirt that I will probably wear a whole lot. Now this day was basically just driving home all day. So I did wear this shirt, but I did not get a lot of footage of it. Here's me posing in my living room. That's it. I'm hoping that my camping footage spliced in here well and it's not too disjointed, but we're trying new things out here, okay? Hope that could take you on a little adventure. I hope that you are having a not too sticky summer, and if you're from Australia, good day. Good winter's tidings to you. I envy your dryness.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Thredup, for sponsoring this video. If you do want to check out Thredup, make sure, again, you head to the link in my description and use my code for 30% off of your first order. Happy thrifting. Love you, whether you're new or old to this channel. If you're new here and you feel like sticking around, feel free to subscribe. I upload almost every Friday, and we have fun here. Pew, 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 pew. Thank you. If you have not so for this, yeep, yeep, doop. Okay. Master has given Frodo mac and cheese. What in carnation? Yee-hoo! Thanks, cameraman.
I did.
Do I get a credit?
No, you gotta join the union for that.